Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. It is environmental. 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 ASMR. Here with you today. And I just came from my bike. And I wanted to do a little video about autumn, because that is what kind of inspired my bike to this trip in a little local preserve by me. And I think it's interesting at this point of time, as where I live, we normally celebrate autumn as kind of like a touristy thing, and it provides a lot of excitement over the changing in leaf color, in leaf color. See this one right here? You could see how it is lost its chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. And in the context of environmentalism, autumn has a few interesting points because leaves and the abundance of them that stay on the trees in the summer and bud in the spring. Suck in all the carbon dioxide, and they process that energy and turn it into chlorophyll as their energy source, and it turns them green. But in the process that they begin to fall, off of the trees. They are reacting to the decreasing amount of energy from the sun in the changing of season, because they can't produce all that energy to keep the leaves green. So they decompose back into the environment and find the seasonal cycle. But where that comes into contextual evidence in climate change is what the influx of carbon dioxide from human releasable, if that's a word, or human production emission, that's the word, cannot edit that, but the human emission of carbon dioxide necessitates a reaction for an environmental response. So what scientists were unsure, what I was reading about, is if that reaction to this increase of carbon dioxide would be an earlier instance of fall, like fall would start sooner and leaves would fall off the trees quicker because of the hotter temperatures, or if it would occur later in the season because the season of summer would be lasting and hotter temperatures would be lasting longer. So it seems that what scientists were hoping for a carbon capture side of things is that fall would be staying longer and that more leaves would stay on the trees to increase carbon capture, but that does not seem to be what's happening. And where I live, it's pretty interesting because we are in a drought. And that doesn't seem to be producing the same amount of colors that we would normally see from the leaves beginning to change for the season. And we didn't really get a lot of bright yellow leaves get rather if you look really neutral variety leaves falling off. And also the stream that you may hear running under me is quite a low trickle. And we also are at a very high risk of fire season. So it's kind of like all these different interconnected environmental processes that can create a real danger, because when we have all this brush existing on our forest grounds, like if you're to walk through these leaves or walk past this bridge, you'll see that there's just a ton of fuel. When there's any kind of spark or ignition, it just fuels brush into a possible forest fire. So what we normally cherish as a season of like temperate and very comfortable periods in our year has become year-round risks for extracting. So one way I think that we can process this fear and to be informed and engaged citizen is to enjoy the environment through a slower and more mechanical interaction with our world. So that's why I go and bike. doesn't necessarily like biking. They view it as a safety risk, and they are intimidated by the process, and that is completely okay. Because, well, it was the viewer is one of my friends, and we used to go on walks together, and we used to relate about how much he loved our environment, and led us to activism, led us to engaging with our community in a composed and not scientific, because science doesn't always answer all of our questions, but in a, I guess, not informed, all that it is, but empathetic way that considers how our actions cause reactions to other people. And biking can not always be the most environmentally friendly, because there's ways that changes our diet, to not most it normally cyclists should fuel themselves with the proper amounts of protein and fuel to really excel on their bike rides and not be a detriment to their health. And sometimes that can lead to choices that fuel a lot of agricultural downsides that contribute a lot of methane and carbon dioxide, whether it be the way that they obtain those foods and that's shipped, or the way that the animals themselves are